I know you're saying you don't like try to convince people one way or another, but like for you, what's the pros and cons one versus the other? Would you
Uh,
generally do both, or why would someone get like age leads versus just doing online ads or getting online leads like that?
I actually don't recommend people do both in the beginning. I recommend you find one thing and get really good at that first. And I don't care if it's age leads or exclusive ads or door knocking or cold mailers or cold calling. I don't care. Just pick something and get really goddamn good at it, because the worst mistake you can make is to over-diversify yourself into too many different channels, too many different techniques, and not become good at any one of them. So like I always tell people, like, you may not think that cold calling works, but it works. You may not think that age leads work, but they work. Like, and you may not think that door knocking works, and obviously Taylor Armstrong can tell us that door knocking works. So it's like, clearly any one of these things works, but none of them are easy.
We are here with someone who is an expert on call centers, on age leads. We're going to be diving into all that stuff, the topic that I don't talk about very often. So we got the one, the only Peter Roth coming on the show. He runs SolarWise. Thanks for coming on the show with us today, Peter.
Thank you for having me, man. It's been a long time. I know we ran into each other at SolarCon, and that was a really fun time. And we talked back and forth about getting together on this podcast. So it's nice to finally be here. Thank you for having me.
Why I know you're saying you don't like try to convince people one way or another, but like for you, what's the pros and cons one versus the other? Would you generally do both, or why would someone get like age leads versus just doing online ads or getting online leads like that?
I actually don't recommend people do both in the beginning. I recommend you find one thing and get really good at that first. And I don't care if it's age leads or exclusive ads or door knocking or cold mailers or cold calling. I don't care. Just pick something and get really goddamn good at it, because the worst mistake you can make is to over-diversify yourself into too many different channels, too many different techniques, and not become good at any one of them. So like I always tell people, like, you may not think that cold calling works, but it works. You may not think that age leads work, but they work. Like, and you may not think that door knocking works, and obviously Taylor Armstrong can tell us that door knocking works. So it's like, clearly any one of these things works, but none of them are easy.
Right.
Is door knocking easy? No. I mean, none of them are easy. They all have their share of pain. It just depends what kind of pain you like putting up with. Like, embrace the suck, I guess, is the reality of it. But like, everything sucks to some extent. It's just which one sucks less to you, and which one do you happen to enjoy the most. But my advice to people is, like, pick whatever one that you think sounds good to you, that sounds tolerable to you, I suppose, and then get really good at that first before you try venturing off into something else. Because it's no different than like starting a new business. Like, running one business is hard enough. Running two is damn near impossible. Like, it is. There's not a lot of successful business owners out there who run multiple businesses. Most of them end up just kind of doing average at both. It's really the people that focus just on one thing do the best. And I always joke around. It's like, I can't even make my one wife happy, and try giving me two. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll just work on the one for now,
Yeah, that's funny.
So same thing. It's like, stop spreading yourself so thin. Get really goddamn good at one thing. I don't care what it is. Then move on to the next thing, because that other thing is now on autopilot. Don't stop until it's on autopilot, and until it's a cash printing machine for you. Then move on to something else. So does it have to be age leads? No, it doesn't. But here's the one thing I would say is, like, what we all know is that you definitely do better when you have a mentor, right? I think that's indisputable truth. Like, no matter what the hell it is that you're doing, if you can find a mentor who can help skip you, to the head of the line, we all know that's by far going to be the best formula for success. So if you can find a company that does the thing that you want to do, whether it's age leads, cold calling, mailers, whatever, and they have a person on their team, whether it's the owner or a sales mentor or someone who's willing to, like, be your mentor and give you the proper guidance to be successful at that thing, that's the company you should work with. As opposed to just a company that you call and you get brushed off at some sales rep, and he's going to spend 10 minutes with you and then just leave you to the wolves. It's like, that's not good. And they're probably going to charge you more for it too. That's the funny thing. So that's what we do. Like, I absolutely, I give a shit about my clients. I actually spend a lot of time with them, and I provide them with a lot of consulting and a lot of one-on-one mentorship. So yes, if you can get a mentor, that's the way to go.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I think that applies to in really any part of, really any business, anything you're doing. That's pretty much the same advice I give people when they're looking for door-to-door companies to work for. It's
Sure.
like, hey, I care less about the name of the company, but who are the people you want to follow? Who are the mentors you want to have? If you are
Hmm.
someone that's looking for good door-to-door too. So yeah, I think that applies in so many things. But also to your other point, yeah, I've been with a company. Well, yeah, I think you know Brent Attaway pretty well, mutual friends. I don't know if you
Hi,
know
Brent.
our story. Yeah, hopefully he's listening to this at some point.
Oh, he
But
will. He will. He'll
yeah,
get a kick out.
we'll send
I love
him.
giving friends shit. I always
Yeah,
do.
the Brent's a funny guy. But yeah, so I was working with him in San Diego. Brent was one of the owners of the dealer. I was running the team for him.
Oh,
And
cool.
I think that's one of the things that maybe held us back a little bit is because Brent was trying to do all these online leads and stuff like that. And then we had some door to door people that were like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to wait till a good online lead shows up. I'll go to that. I'm
Yeah.
not going to knock doors today. And so I think exactly what you're saying. If people are maybe trying to start door to door, but then try to do this, you just got to like figure out a way to structure them, get a good system set up. Don't create these entitled door to door reps that are just waiting for online leads. Make it maybe some sort of like bonus structure if they're also closing deals, just knocking doors and all that. Because yeah, I think a lot of companies get held back by trying to like have their eggs in 20 baskets and then just don't end up getting great results in anything.
Right.
So that's a good
It's
point
hard
there.
enough. It's hard enough for like company owners to sort of like focus on one thing. Can you imagine how hard it is for a 20-something-year-old, kid who's just, on the doors? It's like, no shit. Of course it's hard for him. It's hard enough for his dad,
Yeah.
like it's hard. It's hard not to not to have shiny new object syndrome. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got the call from this company. They do this fancy thing. I'm totally going to try it out.
Yeah.
And I'm only risking 5 grand to try it. I'm sure it's going to work. Uh huh.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Definitely.
How many times have you
Yeah.
said
No,
that?
it's yeah. I know it's tough. Well, yeah, and like I've been at this since 2016 and I didn't have any like follow-up system, CRM. I didn't set up any of that until probably, I don't know, 3, 4 years ago maybe. And even now
Okay.
I'm just starting to get a better system in place to like keep track of the leads, try to follow up better. So I guess that's another question I had. If I'm like a door-to-door rep listening to this, do you like suggest that people like have systems like follow basically like keep track of their own age leads and then follow up with them? Do you think that's something that like a day one rep should be doing is like keeping all their leads and then try to like um have a system to follow up with them?
Hell yeah, man. Regardless
Okay.
of what you're doing, regardless if it's age leads or whether you're doing age leads or not, whether even if you're just on doors, I 1,000% think you need to have some sort of a CRM management tool.
Yeah.
I mean, as Brent will say, the fortune is in the follow up, right? I mean,
Yeah.
hi Brent, but he's right. I mean, he didn't invent that, I don't think he would claim that he invented that, but um, yes, I mean, it's no joke. I mean, like, we're not closing every single deal at the door, so we do have to rely on follow-ups, and everyone is terrible at it. I don't care who you are. It's like even guys in the virtual space are terrible at it. And I know because I trained like half of them in the
Yeah.
solar industry, and they will all admit, like, yeah, Peter's right. I suck at it. It's even with all of the tools at their disposal, even with all the automations and AI and all the fanciest shit in the world,
Mhm.
in a sense, I actually think it's bad for us because it's made us all complacent and lazy because we think that the AI is just going to fix everything and make our bed and brush our teeth for us, right? So like we just stop doing anything.
Yeah.
It's made us kind of lazy. Back in the day, like before AI and automations came around, it's like you really did have to manually kind of manage everything yourself, and it forced you to become much more organized. And nowadays,
Yeah.
people just think that AI is going to take care of it, and so
Yeah.
but nonetheless, to answer your question, 1,000%. Even if you're just on the doors, even if you're 21 years old, you 100% need something, and it doesn't have to be terribly fancy. You could
Yeah.
even just use a spreadsheet. To be quite honest with you, like you can literally use a spreadsheet.
Right.
No one is saying don't use it. Just get decent enough at how to use it, but use Google Sheets. It's free. And as long as you're sorting them, as long as you've got them kind of categorized by hot leads and warm leads and cold leads, like, or even just warm and hot leads, that's it. Just two categories, warm and hot leads. If you just did that with a Google
Mm.
Sheet, you'd be ahead of 90% of your competitors.
Mm. Yeah, that's good.
Serious.
Yeah, well, I tell people all the time, like I didn't follow up with a single lead. I just had all my leads written on like in a notepad and all that. I didn't really I like would throw them away because I came from pest control where it's like you sign them or you just on to the next one. And so
Yeah.
I just thought that's how it was with solar. I'm like, oh, this is just door to door sales. You either sign them now or you never talk to them again, never follow up with them. And that's one of my regrets in solar is that for the first 3, 4 years, probably I didn't like follow up, and I don't even have the majority of those leads. I don't think
Yeah.
when I go back to some of the old neighborhoods and half the people I talk to have solar, you know.
No.
So that's it's gonna be one of the most frustrating things, seeing all the
There's
people you.
no better lesson learned than a hard lesson learned, man. My wife is
Yeah.
probably right now just kicking herself, going, "That fucking asshole." Because he's like, he's not lying. Every single lesson I've learned in life, it's only because I fucked it up so
Yeah.
bad. I'm like, oh, that's how you don't do that ever again. Okay,
Yeah.
lesson learned.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, but I want to get into some maybe tangible stuff for like someone that's new to this. What are some little things? So say I've got my own leads, maybe I did a lot better. I kept track of my leads from 2 years ago. I have my own list of, I guess, personal age leads, you could say. So,
Yeah.
what are maybe like some basic things you could do to, like, I don't know, get back in touch with these people? Is it just like you can use ChatGPT, make some messages, or what are some strategies maybe you could give like someone that's new to this if they just wanted to
Oh,
start contacting their own age leads?
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, if you have your own kind of database of leads that you've already been sort of just collecting over the time, well, then you're already ahead of the curve. I mean, congratulations, buddy. Like you're already doing better than most people because most people don't even do that, right? So if you're doing
Hmm.
that, Jesus, just pick up the phone. And what you should do is honestly like find a good reason to call. Don't just be like, hey, I'm just following up. That's the worst. Is
Yeah,
I'm just following up.
yeah,
But do have a good reason. I like to have some sort of a promotion. I always like to provide value, right? Like there has to be a reason for my call, not just I'm following up bullshit, because who cares about that? So
yeah.
always provide some sort of value, some sort of a reason why they should listen to you. And the fact of the matter is, like, you have to think of it as kind of like a cold call, which is no different than door knocking, right? Like you're always the first 5 seconds that comes out of your mouth is earning you the privilege for the next 5 seconds, right? And then the
Right.
next 30 seconds and then the next minute. So that's all you're doing is like you're just trying to sell them on listening to you for 10 more seconds. And
Hmm.
so that starts with giving them a good pitch. And a good pitch starts with some sort of value and some sort of reason why they should keep listening to you. So give them something, whether it's something for free, some sort of a promotion, some sort of a sale, something like that. And then even better, if you can pair it with some sort of urgency. This expires next week. This is going away. There's a limited amount of permits. End of summer sale, beginning of summer sale, something like that, right? So now throw in some urgency. Now throw in some pain, right? Like, did you realize that, if the course of the next 25 years, you're probably going to be spending $75,000 living here? You don't have to do that. Why do that to yourself? So I'm glad I'm
Yeah.
here. I can maybe help you out, right? So now throw in some pain. So now promotion, value, urgency, pain, like hit all the major points. And then, of course, trust, right? Like, now here's why you should listen to me. We're a local company. We've got 4.5 stars on Google. We've been around here for the last 7 years. We've got a ton of great reviews. I'm happy to share that page with you. Throw in
Hmm.
some trust. Now throw in some testimonials or some social proof. Your neighbor Bob went solar with us last year. He's super happy. Something like that. So like if you can combine all of those into one pitch,
Hmm.
into one 30-second blurb, I mean, Jesus, now you're really
Yeah.
winning. So
Okay.
definitely think about
Yeah.
trying to hit all those points. Don't just come out, hey, I'm just following up. That's the
Yeah.
worst. It might work once in a while, but it's definitely not very effective.